So, remind me again why you were reissued in a new set?
Because I am a well-respected Ultra with high marks. They realized how revered I am and how important I am, too.
Yeah, I'm thinking they just realized you're just quick cash and an easy sell with extra goodies.
Are you calling me Bandai's whore?
Now that you think about it...
I will not stand for this disrespect. On to the review!
Hello collectors, it's Steven here, and welcome to my review of the Ultra Act Ultraman Zoffy Mebius Special Set. This sort of reissue of Zoffy cuts a few accessories he normally comes with in favor of some extra Mebius-related goodies. A Bandai Premium Webshop exclusive, it's worth thinking twice about if you already own Zoffy, and with the SHF around the corner, it's worth taking a look at to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. So let's do it! On to the review. Zoffy looks nice, just about as good as the other red and silver Ultras. However, I'd say the paint is a little bit better here, since it's applied rather well. The head is about what you would expect, looks like Zoffy, but what's interesting is the black dots on the eyes are actual markings instead of just tricks of the light. Cool details. Moving down, the star marks are nice and bumpy, and the paint is great, as evidenced by the arms. While simple, this is probably the strongest part of this figure. As expected, Zoffy's articulation is the standard for the Ultra Act line, and there really aren't any surprises here. So first off, we have the head, which attaches to the neck on a ball joint, so you can move the head around like that. And then the neck is attached into the body on a ball joint, as usual. That's about as far as Zoffy can look up. That's as far as he can look down. You'll notice that there's a gap here where you can actually see the ball joint in there. So that's pretty cool. Like some other Ultra X release, be careful of these spiky parts back here, so this way you're not colliding things into each other and you're damaging the sculpt. So moving on down, we have the shoulders, which plug into the body on a ball joint. Spin the arms around. Little squeaky on the right one, but that's okay. Shoulders house hinges, so you can move the arms up and down. And then we have a bicep swivel right below those hinges, which is neat. Elbows feature the double hinge, as usual, for an Ultra Act. Then the wrists, we have the typical swivel hinge combo, along with the hands plugging into the wrists on a ball joint, so you can spin those around too. Moving down, we have the ab crunch, which you can really move him back like that, along with twist and turning from side to side. And the waist also features a ball joint, which you can do a little bit more twisting and turning. Mine's tight, so I don't want to force it, but on yours, it might be a little more loose. Moving down, we have the pull-down hinges at the hips, ball joint, which again, backward movement is blocked by his booty. And then we have another sculpt in here, which allows for a little bit of extra swiveling if you should need it. The knees feature a double hinge. It's about as far back as they can go. Nice to have. Ankles, same sort of joint as the wrist, the swivel hinge combo. And then we have a great use of the ankle rocker there. So if you want to put Zoffy in some really interesting poses, you can. And then finally, to wrap it all up, we have the toe hinge. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to move the toe down if you would need it, but hey, that's pretty good upward movement. For accessories, Zoffy's pretty middle of the road in that he comes with a few accessories he had in his original release, along with some special ones for this set. So like all Ultras, he comes with alternate sets of hands. Aside from the default fist that you get, this set comes with one set of chopping hands and one set of splayed out hands. Standard sculpt marks, nothing to be too excited about. So all you have to do to swap hands is grab the currently attached hand, pop it off like so. Take your new hand, and push it on, making sure you're not ham-handing it and breaking the joints. Next up for accessories, we get an alternate red color timer, or in my case, because of an awesome quality control issue, I got two. Yeah, good checking there. Now to swap it out, all you have to do is pull out the color timer that's in the chest for the new one, and you're good to go. Why am I telling you this and not showing you? Because I've been picking at this off camera. Been damaging the silver paint. Things stuck in there. So I'm not going to show you how to do it. And it's not the first time that I've heard this happen. So this is clearly an issue with Zoffy that didn't get fixed, either from the first release or in this set. Next up, taking a look at Zoffy's back, we have the alternate attachment part here for the brother's mantle, which I don't have. And then we have the swappable part in the midsection of the back, which it's a royal pain to get off. There we go, after 5 million years. For the swappable Stage Act support system. Woo! Yes, so all you would do is you just plug this into the back, And then you plug a Tamashii Stage Act support arm in here, and you don't need a claw. Surprisingly, though, we do get a claw and a Tamashii Stage Act 4 support system with Zoffy, but I'll get to that in a minute. Because I wanted to talk about his finishing move, the M87 Ray. Really cool. Kind of like the L-shaped rays from the other Ultras, but it's not. It comes out of the front of his hand at the fingertips. So it's a pretty cool translucent blue, not too much paint on here aside from the hands, and it actually looks like the fingertips inside the ray itself are painted, which is neat. And then we get this nice little charge-up effect part that just slides over Zoffy's arm. And to get Zoffy to fire this off is relatively easy to do, unless you have this part here. Then it can be hard, the charge-up part. So what you do is you slide the charge-up part onto Zoffy's arm. You don't need to do this, it's totally optional. And then you have to coordinate the hand getting popped onto the wrist joint without breaking anything. And it can be hard because you got to grip the charging effect and making sure it's on correctly. Now I have some experience with that because I've been screwing around with Zoffy off camera. And there we go. Now Zoffy is firing off an attack. So those are all of the accessories that come with Zoffy standardly, both in the original release and in this set that they share in common. Now, there are some other accessories too. The one main one that I would like to talk about is the Tamashii Stage Act 4 support system that we get here. So we get the support base, we get the claws, we get the thing you put the claws in, and then we get the actual support arm. And this is useful for both supporting Zoffy and some of the other accessories you get. So the first extra accessory I would like to talk about here is the VTOL, or apparently the BTOL. I guess there are a few different names for this. Okay, and it is really awesome. As you can see here, it is very small, and it has very intricate paint apps and decal application. I mean, just look here on the back of it. That is really sweet. There's very, very little paint slop even back here for the white parts, which is very impressive. Now, if you want to have it up on your shelf, there is a hole underneath it to support a Stage Act support arm. And the last new accessory we get is the Specium Redoubleizer. Woo, neat! Now, in the box, it comes unassembled. You have, let me show you here, 3 parts. You have the front here, you have the big cone of Spiky Death, and then you have the back. And the way that it works is you plug in one end or the other, like that, and you see one end has a little nub, the other has a little hole. And all you gotta do is just line it up carefully. And voila, now you have something for Mebius to shoot his beam through and power up. But we'll see that in the Phoenix Brave review. Now, those of you with common sense will see an issue that I haven't mentioned yet. One support arm. So that's just for the VTOL, right? Yeah? Okay. No. No. See, the Redoubleizer has a hole too. So you give us 2, technically 3 items which can use the Stage Act support systems, and you give us 1 arm. Thanks. Overall, for accessories, Zoffy is pretty nice, but some things weren't really thought out, like the quality control issues for the color timer and the back piece, and the fact that we only get 1 support arm. What's up with that? Other energy effects would have been appreciated too, because it's probably pretty cheap to make this, but it's a nice package. And here's the needed size comparison for you all. Zoffy's an Ultra Munchkin. Aww. So, buy now, skip, or try to find a deal. Zoffy looks nice, and articulation is about what you would expect. Accessories, just whatever. QC issues, probably stuck paint, block off the color timer for changing, and the back plug for support. They're just basically bitches. And it's not just on mine. There are other reviews which cite these issues too. The inclusion of 1 support arm is bull along with that. By the way, the Space VTOL and the Redoubleizer are hard plastic, so don't break it, which is gonna be easy to do. When it's all said and done at the end of the day, I'd say Mebius fans who want more accessories for their display should get this one. Otherwise, at this point, maybe hold out for the SHF. Might get a little bit more bang for your buck. Or maybe the original Ultra Zoffy. Who knows? You might be better off that way. The only thing I can say is whether or not you actually like the set, if it ends up being good for you, try not to pay too much. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like the video and subscribe. What do you think of the figure? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Interested in picking this one up?
Check the description for some really cool links to take you where you need to go. Want to watch some more videos? I picked a few just for you, so click the annotations on your screen right now for more great content. Until next time, collectors!